So if you are your own property manager or you are looking with other people, what to look for as far as best practices for getting renewals. But I think it's really interesting that we're in this like moment in time in the economy where the rental income market is just freaking bananas as far as like, real estate is just nuts. So tell me a little bit about your day-to-day right now and how that's different from your day-to-day, let's say like 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows that the real estate market in Jacksonville has just been skyrocketing here, and there's been tons of appreciation these past few years. And it didn't quite hit us until recently this year that rental market's doing the exact same thing. Normally, rental appreciation, we're used to seeing about 3 to 4% increase on average rent each year. And this past year, it's been 8% of an increase. So that's really significant if you think about a renter and having an 8% increase every year. That's a lot. So it's definitely changed what we've had to do with our renewal conversations and capturing those increases for our owners. So it's been different this year. We've had different challenges. Obviously, we're still doing great because we hit 70% sooner than we usually are able to, but it's definitely changed the way we go about renewals.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So that changes how you go about renewals. What about your conversations with the investors, right? Like, are they kind of more or less worried about it? Is that changing that dynamic?
Well, I think they honestly probably have a lot of trust in us now because we changed the way we're doing our renewal increases. Before we had it based off a tiered system. I don't know. Do you want me to kind of explain that to you guys? I guess I can give you the before and after of what renewals used to look like as far as capturing a rent increase for our owner. We based it off market rent. So we would say, hey, what's the value of this home right now? If we were to put this home for rent on the market, what would it go for? And then we basically take two numbers. So we take that number, the market rent, and then we look at list rent, and then we get the difference of that. And we call that the variance. So let's say a home, the market rent's $1,050, and right now we're renting it for $1,000. Right, so that variance is $50. We basically would go based off the variance. So we would say, okay, if it's only a $50 difference between what they're paying right now for rent and the market, we're going to offer them X, Y, and Z, right? And we would really try to make it appealing for our residents to try and renew long-term, right? We want them to stay and renew for as long as they can. So we offer a 1, 2, or 3-year renewal. And so if they did a 1 year, we would have that increase fee of $50. If we did a 2 year, we would say, hey, we're not even going to have an increase the first year. It's only going to go up 25 the second year. If we do a 3-year renewal, you're going to have no increase the first year, no increase the second year, and then it'll only go up 25 the third year. And that was really appealing to them, and it was really successful. But then when we, looked at market rent this year and earlier in the year, we really recognized that if we were to continue with that structure, we wouldn't be capturing the increases in the values that we needed in order for our owners to capture a good return, right? Because if market rent if a home value is going up, there are increased expenses for the owner as well, right? Insurance, taxes, maintenance in general, right? Just cost of materials if you have any maintenance going on in your home. So we had to really revisit how we looked at increases for renewals and really change the way we do it. So now we say, okay, what is the market rent? No matter if you're going to renew 1, 2, or 3 years, we're going to bring it up to market rent that first year. And then each additional year will be a 3% increase on top of that. So 3% is supposed to be, what intrigues that resident, because right now on average, it's been 8% this past year. So that's kind of what's helping us push them to renew longer term, but at least we know this way we're protecting our clients, and that if we're renewing a resident, we are bringing them up to market rent no matter what.
That's awesome. That's an interesting look into the change of before to after.